Hello viewers, you are watching Bureaucrat 1 video. Today's topic is, does India have Blue Water Navy? So what is the Blue Water Navy? To understand this, we need to know how navies are classified based on operations. Various navies of the world are classified into blue, green and brown water navy based on operations. Now coming to Blue Water Navy. Any navy that can execute all major operations on deep ocean waters, that is more than 200 kilometers from their coasts, are said to be a blue water navy. So the countries that has such capabilities are USA, UK, France, etc. There is a reason why I wrote etc. Because navies of certain countries like Russia can be classified as blue water navy quantitatively but not qualitatively. In fact, some naval experts say only USA have blue water navy. Why? You have to watch till the end to know why. Now coming to the most important question. Does India have blue water navy? And the next question, which is even more important, is does China have such capabilities? Let's find it out. Next, what is a green water navy? Any navy that can execute major operations in shallow waters, that is less than 200 kilometers from their coasts, is said to be a green water navy. Similarly, brown water navy is any navy that can execute major operations in territorial waters, that is less than 12 nautical miles, is said to be the brown water navy. Now coming to the requirements of the blue water navy. The navy should have 6 things. 1. Aircraft carriers. 2. Nuclear submarines. 3. Long endurance large warships. 4. Large warships with huge replenishments. 5. Overseas bases, ports and berthing rights. 6. Large amphibious warships. We will look into each one of the 6 requirements. The first one being aircraft carriers. They are named after the warriors of India. We have one aircraft carrier, which is INS Vikramaditya. It is of a Russian origin. It can launch cruise missiles. It belongs to KIEV class. We have decommissioned 2 aircraft carriers so far. They are Virat, which was said to become a museum, but now it was decided to scrap it. Another is Vikrant, which was demolished. Bajaj used it to manufacture its Bajaj V15 Scrambler motorcycle. The second being nuclear submarines. There are 5 generations of nuclear submarines: 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The first gen submarines are powered by water vapor. The second gen submarines are powered by diesel. Since it's a diesel powered, it needs oxygen for combustion. So it needs to come to the surface. So presence of such submarines can be tracked by the enemies. Types include Sindhu Kosh class and Shishumar class. Third gen Third gen nuclear submarines are diesel powered with AIP or air independent propulsion technology. It has inbuilt hydrogen peroxide and nitric oxide chamber for combustion. Therefore, it gives it a stealth feature. Scorpion class submarines manufactured under Project 75I belongs to third gen submarines. The fourth gen submarines are nuclear powered. Example is the Chakra class submarines. These are of Russian origin and we leased it for 10 years. The fifth and the current gen submarines are nuclear powered with ballistic missile launching capabilities. The INS Arihant belonging to Arihant class are the latest submarines that we have. There are 2 important things we need to know about INS Arihant. One is it is an indigenously manufactured nuclear submarine. 2 is India attained the nuclear triad status after deploying INS Arihant. So let's look into India's nuclear triad. It has 3 legs: air, land and water. The first leg, air, is a nuclear missiles are launched using Sukhoi 30 and Jaguar. The second leg, which is land, where the nuclear missiles are launched using intercontinental ballistic missiles like Agni 5. Since it can be intercepted, it is considered as the weakest leg. The third leg is the water, which we attained it recently after deploying INS Arihanth. The submarine launched ballistic missiles. The missiles that are used in this case are two. One is K-15 and other is K-4. Now coming to the third criteria, it's a long endurance large warships. These are categorized under three heads based on weight of the warships. The first one being destroyers, second one is frigates, and third is corvettes. Destroyers. It is used in deep waters. These are larger sized warships weighing 500 to 7,500 tons. Kolkata class, Delhi class, Rajput class and Visakhapatnam class belongs to such destroyers. Now frigates. It's used in shallow waters. These are medium-sized warships weighing 2,500 to 5,000 tons. Examples are Godavari class, Brahmaputra class, Shivalik class, and Nilgiri class. Third is the corvettes. It's used in territorial waters. These are smaller sized warships weighing between 750 to 2,500 tons. These are the examples of corvettes that we have. Now coming to the fourth requirement for the blue water navy is large ships with huge replenishments. Replenishments include food items, fuel, men and material for war purpose. Such ships are oil refueling ships like INS Jyoti and INS Manohar, minesweepers such as Pondicherry class large ships, and Karwash class large ships, and other cargo ships. The fifth requirement for blue water navy is overseas bases, ports, and berthing rights. We have Chabahar port in Iran, Mauritius, and Maldives, Oman, Seychelles, and Vietnam. Now coming to the sixth requirement for blue water navy is large amphibious warships. These are warships that can be used both in land and water. These are used to deploy troops and tanks into enemy territories. These can also carry aircrafts. These can also carry landing crafts, which is a last mile connectivity between such warships and the coasts. We have INS Jaleshwar. It is of USA origin. But there is an issue. We need an NOC from USA during war situation. Therefore, some experts say India is not a true blue water navy. Yet Indian Navy claims India has a true blue water navy. Now coming to the China's question. China says it doesn't have a blue water navy because they have three-stage maritime development plan. The first being to control over the first island chain by 2010. Second is extend its maritime influence to the second island chain by 2020. And the final being establish a force that would challenge the US Navy in the Indian and Pacific Oceans by 2050. You can see from this, China is not really competing with India, but it is actually competing with USA when it comes to blue water navy status. So to conclude, we will take a strategy from the book Art of War by Sun Tzu. He is a Chinese general and war strategist, philosopher and author. He says, appear strong when you are weak and weak when you are strong. The first and the former one aptly applies for India and the later applies for China. Thank you.